Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Welcome back, everyone. First question I got to ask you. So, for the viewers that are out there that are watching, and all true outdoors people are the real conservationists. Period. Bottom line, there is no other way to put it. We don't want to see any of the poaching and that stuff that's going on out there, and let alone having situations that put you at risk as well as Scout, right? I mean, these are things that you would think would be common sense, and you know, I'm not going to say that it's just prevalent, but it is significantly out of hand, and it has been since I was a kid paying attention to these things, right? Now we have the assets of having Scout and Buck, yourself and your partner out there that can help out and find these animals that might be poached or evidence to get to that point, right? How has this all come about, though? What is behind the K-9 program? Who is it funded? In-house? Is it out-house? How's it actually all done?
Yeah, so kind of as I mentioned earlier, you know, it started about 5 years ago. The state police, Fish and Wildlife decided to go along with the conservation K-9 program. A lot of other states already had conservation K-9 programs.
Sure.
You know, we went to Indiana for training. They've had a K-9 conservation program for about 25 to 30 years, somewhere in there.
Okay.
And, you know, kind of the leading experts on some of the training and stuff at the time. And so we're a little bit late to the game, but super happy that we got the dog program going for us.
Sure.
Luckily for us, we had a nonprofit organization, Oregon Wildlife Foundation, that was willing to give a lot of money and time into putting the project together and getting us the funds to kick off the program with Buck. So, you know, they help us out with vet bills and dog food. They're the main guy, program foundation, who purchases the dogs and the kennels that they're staying in at our houses and stuff like that. Ongoing equipment, you know, leashes and collars, anything that breaks, reward toys and stuff like that for the dog.
Sure.
So we're grateful for them helping us out. You know, they are a nonprofit. Anybody can donate to them or to the K-9 program through them. But they are a great program that's out there, you know, helping out habitat throughout the state. They have a lot of programs. You can read more on their website and give them a call, but just what they do, I think, kind of gets a little bit hidden under the rug from a lot of people that aren't familiar with Oregon Wildlife Foundation. But they've just been great for us and helping us out with all the funds and continuing to back us year after year, and hopefully get us a couple more dogs too next year. It sounds like they're on board.
Well, yeah, and hopefully the program continues and keeps going.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, it's a little different program in the fact that it's not paid by, you know, taxpayers or government funds or through ODF&W or licensing sales like a lot of stuff is. You know, it's a nonprofit organization that's just helping us out and trying to help out the conservation throughout the state.
So on the note of helping out, so for the average person that's like myself, that's out in the woods, on the water, wherever it might be, and maybe think something may have happened, if it was poaching or something similar, how can we help? What's the best way that we can at least make sure that you're aware of what's going on?
Yeah, well, you really hit the nail with the hammer earlier on when you said conservationists. The biggest conservationists are outdoorsmen, recreators. We're the ones that are putting all the money into it, and we're the ones that are receiving the benefits of it. So, you know, if you see something out there that you know is illegal or something highly suspicious, just give the state police a call. It's star OSP on a cell phone. I think it's star 677. Get you in touch with the dispatch center, and then almost immediately they'll be able to get a call created and get it out to us, and then we can give you a call back. It'll always be someone in that local area. So, you know, if you're out hunting in Keating or something else and you see something, you're not going to be talking to, you know, a Fish and Wildlife trooper in Salem about it. You'll be talking to somebody out there, somebody who knows the area and can help you out. You know, we always tell people, if you don't have cell service and you can't call immediately, try to get the best description you can of what's going on and who's involved. And the big thing for us is, you know, personal description of what the person or people looked like. Vehicle description, make, model, year is always helpful, but the license plate is kind of the key on that kind of stuff.
Okay, that makes sense.
And timeliness is a big one too, right? If we get people that are out there doing something and they're still in that area and we can find them, that helps us a lot more than if you call us a few days later and we have to go try to find these people or go find the evidence days later. But luckily we have Scout to help us with that.
I was going to say, I mean, even scent can fade, but if you got a dog with a nose like that, he's finding it, I mean, long periods of time that it can go before he finds it. Yeah, we had a case that actually Josh Wolcott and Buck helped us out with. Or we all helped each other, I should say, over in Eastern Oregon last year or 2 years ago, and trying to make a case on a poached elk out there. Used both the dogs in a pretty far hike-in area to try to find out where this carcass was and prove that it was
shot on private property.
Sure.
And both dogs ended up finding bones from that animal. We were able to nail down that location, and that was killed, I think, 11 months prior that we went out there.
Wow.
So
11 months.
Without the dogs, we probably wouldn't have found anything because it's a huge area, big open area. We didn't know exactly where we're at. Dogs ended up finding the bones. We were able to put all the pieces together for the case.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah,
I mean, because
awesome.
literally, I mean, there's a lot of people think they can get away with stuff, but
Yeah.
You got Scout out there running around, and I love that. And I know that you can just tell, being around a highly trained dog like Scout, he wants to go right now, and keeping him contained.
It's hard. It's
You've
hard,
spent a lot of time with him. I know exactly what it takes to get there. That it is not easy. What's his favorite part of the job? I mean, is it all the way to the end, just give me the toy, or does he enjoy himself in between?
You know, he kind of sleeps and hangs out in the truck, and as soon as you get him out, he's just ready to go. He doesn't need a warm-up phase. He doesn't need to stretch. He's 3.5 years old, and as soon as you open the door, he's already working before his feet hit the ground. His favorite part is probably the end reward, you know, getting that toy. That's what he's really working for. But I like to think that it's just, you know, pleasing me and that partnership and the building the trust we have for each other, where I know that if he runs off, unless he finds something, he's going to come right back. Yeah. So yeah, it's great.
That's one of those things with dogs. It takes training, right? Yeah. When a dog decides, that is not trained, and does bolt, like you mentioned just briefly there, sometimes they might not come back. So it's nice to know that that's going to happen.
Right.
Okay, so for folks that are out there watching, I know that we were just talking about the Oregon Wildlife Foundation.
Yeah.
Are there ways that they can help? I mean, can they donate to that nonprofit that can help you?
Yeah, you can donate to the nonprofit. I believe you can donate directly to the K-9 team through their website. Okay. So funds that you donate to them will be, you know, purchased or brought through on our side for the K-9.
Right.
You know, none of the funds go to me or anything. It is all for the dogs. So
right.
It's
No,
great
we know that.
Yeah.
We know that. Oregon dog? Not an Oregon dog, you know?
So yeah, we got him from a vendor in northern Washington.
Okay.
When he was about 14 months old.
Right.
And then went over, actually drove all the way to Indiana and spent 3 months over there, flying back and forth a couple times commercially for some training, and got certified through Indiana Department of Natural Resources. But yeah, I don't know, have no idea where he came from before he was 14 months old.
Just a good dog.
Just a good, hard-working dog with a heck of a nose.
What's next for the Oregon State Police Fish and Wildlife Division? What's next for you guys? Do you have anything on the horizon, or is it just day by day go to work? We're always working something, you know, always trying to get the people that are out there taking resources illegally. We're trying to get those guys. Hopefully we'll get a couple more dogs. You know, between Buck and Scout, they're really showing a huge benefit. I bet. In what they can do. You know, just a few weeks ago here, we had a motorist that we thought maybe was stranded on the side of the road. Our Fish and Wildlife captain, Captain Casey Thomas, stopped for that vehicle, seeing if they needed any assistance. It was in the mountains, in the Cascade Mountains between Salem and Sisters area. Sure. And through some investigation, through some detectives and Captain Thomas and some other folks, learned that maybe this person was actually lost in the woods or something was going on. So he called me out from Bend. I drove up there about an hour. Long story short, it was about a 1.5 mile track through some snow, some not snow, some on the road, some off of these roads. It was a heck of an ordeal. Ended up finding a blanket and some other stuff. And Scout took us right to this person who was lost and in distress, having kind of a mental distress day. Not sure where she was at. She didn't know why she had been out there, and essentially was lost, had no way of knowing how to get back to her vehicle, was barefoot. So, you know. That's what Scout does. That's what Scout does right there. That Scout, and finding stuff and helping out. So thanks for what hopefully we can get a couple more dogs and continue with the program and help out. But I thank you for having me on. Dude, thanks for coming in. I wish we had more time that we could talk. Great program they have. Help out if you can. We'll be right back to wrap things up.